Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Natasha if it is your first time here, and today's video is another decluttering part 4, I think, and it is my blush and highlighting drawer, and I gave you guys a little sneak peek in my last decluttering video, so you know how full it is and how much of a mess it is. I definitely need to get rid of some stuff, but for some reason, like my blushes and highlighters, I feel like I can't ever let them go. Like it's the hardest thing to declutter for me. I guess maybe eyeshadow palettes too, but blushes and highlighters, I'm always like, I might need it. Like I might want that blush one day. I might need that highlighter. So get ready because this is going to be a long video. This drawer is so full, and that's what we're going to do. I'm going to flip you around and we're going to start decluttering. Okay, we're flipped. Do you guys like these tie-dye sweatpants? They're so cute. It matches the sweater I was wearing. They're separate, sold at Target. So cozy. Okay, back to the drawer. So this is my highlighting and blush drawer. Originally, I tried to keep all of the blushes on this side, highlights on this side, and then like blush toppers and creams in the front. And that didn't really work out. It just turned into a giant mess. It literally goes all the way to the back here. This is as far out as the drawer will pull. So clearly I'm not even using this stuff back here. I don't even know where to start. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the front, and then we're just going to work our way back. Sound good? All right. So some of the first things I have are these Fenty Beauty matchsticks. I have the shades Trippin', Yacht Life, and Rum. I'm going to keep all 3 of these Fenty Beauty matchsticks. I have the shades Trippin', Yacht Life, and Rum. I love these. I love the packaging. I love how they all magnet together. It's so cute. Like, if you didn't know these Fenty Beauty matchsticks, and this is all of them, not just the blush ones, they all magnet together so you can keep them like really nice and together. So I'm going to keep those guys. The next thing I have is this Tarte's Pro Glow Liquid Highlighting. I'm getting rid of this. I got it in a BoxyCharm, and when I initially tried it, I hated it. And then I tried to use it again, and I hated it again. So I don't even know why I held on to this. Getting rid of this guy. I have the Milk Makeup Highlighter in the shade Lit. This is a really nice stick highlighter. It is a little bit dark for me during like the winter fall time, but in the summer and spring this looks really nice on me, and I really like throwing this like on my collarbones and on my chest in the summer over my shoulders. It gives you like a really nice luminous look. Let's move on to these guys right here. So I have 3 different Cover FX drops. I have the glitter drops, which I'm going to get rid of because I just don't like, I know they're glitter drops, but I don't like how chunky and glittery it is, and I find that there's a lot of fallout, so I'm going to get rid of this guy. I have the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in the shade Sunlight. This is beautiful. This is like one of the best liquid highlights out there, I think, so I'm definitely going to keep this. And then I have this mini one in the shade Moonlight. I'm going to get rid of this just because I've had this forever, and I literally never use it, so tossing it. Next is this Burt's Bees All Glow kind of cream cheek. So this is really beautiful, and it smells really good, and it is like a really nice texture, except for it just blends out into literally nothing. Like I will go in thick with this, like make myself look like a clown, and then when I blend it out, it literally is invisible, and it doesn't look like anything except for just like I put Vaseline on my face. So I really wanted this to work, but I'm gonna get rid of it because the pigment just isn't there. There is like no method to how I'm doing this. I literally am just like randomly grabbing things because there's no organization. I don't even know what to do. I have this Charlotte Tilbury Beach Stick in the shade Moon Beach. This is a lip and a cheek stain, and this is really beautiful. You can tell it's kind of messy because I do use this a lot. It has a really nice minty scent to it. This is great too if you're ever wanting to do like a monochrome look, and you do like your lips, your cheeks, and you can even throw a little bit of this on your eyelids. So I'm keeping this guy. I have this e.l.f. cream blush in the shade Glistening Peach. I used this about once or twice, and I just wasn't very impressed. I didn't really like the texture of it, and I felt like it didn't have that much pigment to it, so I'm going to get rid of this guy. Next, I have this Milk Makeup Face Gloss. So what this is literally like a clear gloss that's for your face. You're supposed to be able to put it on like the high points of your face, on your eyelids, like an all-over gloss. And I've had this for quite a while. I've used it a few times, and I didn't love it. I felt like it was really sticky, and it creased up a lot, which I know for like a gloss, it's kind of like hard to find a easy like medium there where it works really well and it doesn't do things that like a gloss naturally does. But I just don't really like this. I thought that I would like it more and I would use it more, and I don't. It's just sitting here getting dust, so I'm going to get rid of it. I have the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid in the shade Champagne Pop. This is an amazing liquid highlighter. This works great as a primer. This works great mixed in foundations, all over your body, all over your face. The Becca makes some great highlighters and great liquid highlighters, so I'm definitely keeping on to this guy. So let's go through this little area right here. So I have two of these Essence Pure Nude highlighters. I have one in Be My Highlight and I have one in Sunlighter. One of them is just a little bit darker than the other. I love these as bronzer toppers, as highlighters. I really like this one in the shade Highlight as like an all over glow for your face if you're wanting to do like a really luminous, really glowy face look. These are great. They're so cheap. They're from Essence. I recommend these to everyone, even as a bronzer topper, a highlighter, just like a luminous face powder. These are amazing. So here mainly is where I keep like my blush toppers. Next I have this Bare Minerals highlight in the shade Joy. I have talked about this before in a few videos. This is actually a highlighter, but obviously it's too dark for my skin tone. I like to use this as a blush topper to add just like a luminous glow to my cheeks. It is one of my favorite Bare Minerals products. It's so beautiful, so I'm definitely keeping this guy. I have this Hourglass Cosmetics Ambient Lighting Blush in the shade Diffused Heat. This is a really beautiful pinky shimmery blush. I think it's a little bit too shimmery to wear as a blush on its own, but to do it as a blush topper, it is really great, so I am holding on to this guy. I have two Laura Geller baked blushes, one in the shade Tropical Hues and one in the shade Sunswept. These are both really beautiful blushes, but I will say that they are more of a blush topper. They're so luminous, they almost could be used as highlights. This one is way too dark for my skin tone, so I'm going to get rid of this guy. But I am going to keep this one because it is a really beautiful blush topper, and this is even really beautiful, like swept across the chest area. I have three Blush Light blush toppers from Melt Cosmetics, and these were directly advertised as blush toppers. They're called Blush Lights. I have the shade Nevermore, which is a really nice kind of mauve-y pink color. The shade Sundown, which is a very bronzy with a hint of red blush topper. And then the shade Lynx, which is another really bronzy one. This one I feel like I can wear more around the year than the other one, more than this guy. So I'm going to keep all three of these because I really love these, and I am like a blush topper girl. I have these two ColourPop Super Shock Cheeks. I have the shade Flexitarian and I have the shade Wisp. These are just some Super Shock highlighters. Clearly I love this one here in Wisp. I just got this one in Flexitarian. I hear people talk about this one the most, so I finally was like, all right, I need to pick it up. ColourPop makes beautiful, they're Super Shock products in every formula, whether it be blush, highlighter, or eyeshadow. The Super Shock formula is amazing. They are just so beautiful. They sink into the skin so well, and they just look so natural as like a Boom and highlight can look. So I'm definitely going to hold on to these guys. I have the Marc Jacobs Do You Dewdrops Liquid Highlighter. I'm going to hold on to this. This is a beautiful champagne-y liquid highlighter. It is very expensive for what it is. You can definitely find cheaper options, but I do really love this product. It is really beautiful. I don't know if I would repurchase it after it was empty, but for what it is, I'm definitely going to use every last drop of it. Okay, this is where we get to the part where I've just been shoving stuff in here. So these are all blushes and highlights from the Disney Designer Collection that just came out. And this is where I have a struggle decluttering because the packaging is so beautiful that I'm like, I want to keep it all to have the full set. But I'm like, why? What is the reasoning of me keeping it all if I'm not going to use it all? Like, that seems kind of wasteful. So with stuff like this, when I declutter it, I definitely give it to like my nieces first because it's just super cute and they'll love it, and I'll give it to family and stuff. But I need to go through these and just decide based on color which ones that I want to keep or not. So this first one is Esmeralda. This is a really beautiful corally pink blush. Keeping it. We have Horse and Carriage. This is a highlight, and I was so impressed by this one when I used this in the video, so I'm going to keep that. This is, see, I haven't even used this one. Here comes the plastic. This is Enchanted Mirror. This one is, it looks like Belle, so I don't know why it'd be Enchanted Mirror. This is a really light-toned pink blush. I'm going to get rid of this because it is a little too light for me, and I don't think I'll ever reach for this color. So see you later, Belle. Next, we have the Tangled highlight. This one is too dark for my skin tone, so I'm going to get rid of it. We have the Floating Lights blush. This is a nice cool tone pink blush. Same here. I just feel like I'm not going to reach for this guy, so I need to get rid of it. A lot of times in these big collections, I feel like so guilty getting rid of it and not keeping the full collection that I kind of had to be a little cutthroat when it comes to stuff like this that just has like the most beautiful packaging, because otherwise I'll keep it all and I just won't use it, and I feel like that's so wasteful. So next is Big Tough Girl. This is Meg. She's my girl. This is a really cool like spacey purple highlighter. I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to keep it because I know that I will use this for like some fun holographic purpley look. We have Coronation. This is another highlight. I haven't used this one yet. I'm going to hold on to it because it looks like a really beautiful rose gold highlight, and I'll see how that works on my skin. And then lastly, we have Kissin' a Frog. This is Tiana. Ooh, this is a really pretty dusty rose, kind of dark mauve blush. I'm going to keep this guy too. Okay, so where should I go next? Next, I have this Z palette full of single blushes. These are all from ColourPop. So they're actually the blushes from the Kathleen Lights Zodiac collection. So they are My Sun and My Stars. This one is not. This is a single blush in the shade Weirdo from ColourPop. I'm going to get rid of this one because it's a little too cool tone for my skin and I tend to just never use it. So I'm going to keep all of these. This is just my single blushes. Like I said, these four right here are from the Kathleen Lights Zodiac collection, and this one right here is in the shade Excuse My French. It's just a really nice peachy loose blush. So I'm going to keep these guys. You already know that I love this Alamar Cosmetics blush trio. I'm 100% going to keep this. This is honestly one of my favorite blushes at the moment, and it has been for like months now. Okay, so right on top here, I have this NYX Sweet Cheeks Glow Blush in the shade Citrine Rose. I just got this. I am really liking it, so I'm going to hold on to it. I have this other NYX Sweet Cheeks Matte Blush. This one is in the shade Daydream. I'm going to get rid of this guy because I don't tend to reach for these really hot corally blushes very often, and I have a few other ones that I'd like the formula more, so I'm going to get rid of this guy. I have one more of the NYX Sweet Cheeks blushes, and this one is in the matte yellow. I'm keeping this. I haven't used it yet, but I am so interested in doing an editorial look with this matte yellow blush, so I'm definitely keeping this guy. I have the Bare Minerals Gen Nude blush in the shade Pink Me Up. These Gen Nude blushes are so beautiful. This is a great pinky matte blush, just an everyday blush, so I'm holding on to this guy. This is the Honest Beauty Cream Cheek Blush in the shade Rose Pink. This is a really beautiful, kind of more clean product cream blush. I'm keeping this guy. This is what I'm talking about. Like I feel like I haven't gotten rid of anything in a while because I'm like, no, I need it, I need it, I need it. I have two Makeup Geek blushes, one in the shade Chivalry and one in the shade Covet. Chivalry is a really dark maroon red, and Covet is a pinky sparkly color. I'm going to get rid of the shade Covet because I just never reach for this. It's not a color I really like, but I'm going to keep the shade Chivalry even though it's really dark. I think for like a fall look, a little bit of this on the cheeks, whew, so pretty. I have two blushes from the ColourPop Peach collection. I have the shades Frisky Business and Perk Up. Frisky Business is just a really nice matte peach color, and Perk Up is almost like a bronzy color. I'm going to get rid of Perk Up because I just don't tend to reach for it ever, but I'm going to keep this one right here in Frisky Business because it's a really beautiful matte peach, and I do reach for this quite often. Two more ColourPop blushes. These are from the Strawberry collection, and I have the shade See You Later and the shade Shortcake. I think I'm going to get rid of both of these, even though they are really pretty pink colors. This one is super dark, but they're both a little too cool tone for me. Maybe I'll keep this guy. No, I'm getting rid of both of these. I don't need them. I have two blushes from the Sephora blush collection. I have the shade Hot Flush, which is a really hot, summery, shimmery orange, and I have the shade Love Child, which is open. Oh, I just dug my fingernail right into that. Ugh. And I have the shade Love Child, which is just a matte Peach. So I'm going to keep the one in Hot Flush here because it's a really fun summer blush. But this one in Love Child that I just gouged with my fingernail, I'm going to get rid of because I have so many matte peach blushes that I just don't need it. I have another e.l.f. cream blush product. This is from the Bear With Me collection, and this is a creamy blush. And I felt like this was literally Vaseline in a container. I don't know why. e.l.f. products, like, they have so many good products, and then they just have a few just big misses, and this was a big miss for me. I wanted this to be just like a really luminous, actually I wanted it to be more like the Honest Beauty cream blush, but it just didn't hold up, it didn't compare. So I'm gonna get rid of this guy. I have this Honest Beauty Magic Beauty Balm. I love this stuff. This is just like literally dew in a balm. So you put this all over your face. It has no sparkle to it. It just adds like a nice dewy glow all over your face. It doesn't clog pores. It smells really nice. It blends over. Powder's really nice. Cream's really nice. So I'm keeping this guy. I have two of the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Cream blushes. I actually just got these. I haven't tested these out yet, but I am really excited. CoverGirl just came out with a whole clean and fresh collection, and I am getting really into liquid and cream blushes recently, so I'm gonna hold on to these guys, and I'm really excited to try them. I have this right here. This is so old of a product. I think this is 3 or 4 years old. This is the Too Faced Love Flush Blush Collection, and this comes with 6 blushes in it, and these are so beautiful. The Too Faced blushes are really nice. I'm keeping this palette even though it is super old because I still reach for all 3 of these. I think I've never used these ones over here, but these 3 I like to just run my brush back and forth through them, and it's just so beautiful. And this is just such a cute little product that I want to hold on to it even though it's super old. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I'm definitely getting rid of stuff, but I still have 0 organization going in here. So that's going to be like the final step, is organizing everything just to look nice. But as for now, I'm just working in sections to kind of declutter. Let me start pulling stuff from back here. This is the BH Cosmetics Nude Blush 10 Color Blush Palette. This is an amazing, amazing affordable blush palette. They have a few different ones too. This is my favorite one, is the nude blushes. They come from really light to a little bit darker. I think if you had a deeper skin tone, a lot of these might not work for you. But for my skin tone, and I think more of a medium skin tone, this is an amazing cheap blush palette. BH Cosmetics is so affordable. These blushes are so beautiful. They're so pigmented. They blend out really nice. This is even great if you're a working artist and you need something in your kit. I would definitely recommend this. So I'm keeping this palette. It is so nice when you're traveling too because it's so thin and it's so lightweight. Random little brush. Next I have this Tarteist Pro Glow palette. I'm going to get rid of this guy. I don't even think honestly oh, you could see me. I don't think honestly I've ever even touched this palette. I'm going to get rid of it because I've never reached for it. I have similar products. That's that. It's mainly just it's been in my drawer forever and I've never reached for it, so I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm pretty sure I got this in a BoxyCharm, but I know that I have friends and family that will love this, and it's even more exciting because it hasn't been touched yet. I have these 2 Physicians Formula Organic Wear Dewy Blush Elixirs. So I actually just picked these up. Physicians Formula also came out with this whole new organic wear line. I'm so excited to try these out. I'm thinking about doing a video where I do a full face of Physicians Formula. Let me know how you feel about that. God, I can never say physicians. Like, that word just does not work in my mouth. So I'm gonna hold on to these guys because they're brand new, and I'll keep you updated on these because I am so intrigued. So these are all my Milani Cosmetics baked blushes. I have Luminosa, which I'm definitely keeping. That is like a staple. This is in the shade Bellissimo Bronze. This is a gorgeous shimmery orange warm bronzy blush for the summer, so I'm going to keep this. I have the shade Sunset. This is another beautiful, just kind of like bronzy, warm, rosy, summery blush, so I'm going to keep this guy. Milani baked blushes are some of the best blushes on the market, I think, especially in the drugstore. And then lastly, I have the one in the shade Petal Primavera. I'm going to get rid of this guy because it's just a little too mauve-y, a little too cool toned for me, but it's still a great quality blush. These are all of my ColourPop Super Shock blushes. Oh, it looks like a highlighter got in there. This is the highlighter in the shade Lunch Bunny. I'm keeping this guy too. So firstly, I have the shade Thanks for the Memories. It's like hard to open all these. This is a really nice pinky, little peachy, orangey blush. I'm going to keep this. This one is in the shade Ooh She's Blushing. This is a little bit too bright for me, so I'm going to get rid of this guy. This one is in the shade Drop of the Hat. This is from the ColourPop Bretman Rock collection. This is a really nice kind of sexy, shimmery, orangey, summery blush. I'm going to use this because in summer days when I want to do all kind of cream products, this goes beautiful on the cheeks. I have the shade Stop It, which is also from the Bretman Rock collection. This one kind of reminds me of like tomato soup. I do really love this one if you can't tell, so I'm going to keep this guy. And then lastly, I have the shade No Vacancy, which is one of my favorite Super Shock blush shades that they have. You could tell this one is really well loved. This is a corally blush, but it blends out a little bit more on the peachy orangey side. It is so beautiful on the cheeks, and it gives you that really nice, just flushed, cute blushing look. I have this blush from Note Cosmetics in the shade Desert Rose. This is a really beautiful dark matte peachy orange blush. I'm going to keep this guy, and I don't really know much about Note Cosmetics. I feel like I haven't seen them ever in a store. I guess I can look them up online, but I do really like this. I got this in a BoxyCharm, and it is a beautiful matte orangey blush. I have this luminous blush by Model Co, and it is in the shade Peach Bellini. It is a gorgeous shimmery luminous peachy orangey pinky blush. If you can't tell, this is like my favorite blush shade. I feel like I have 200 blushes that are basically in the same shade. I'm going to keep this guy because it's so small, it's nice to travel with, and it's just like a guaranteed, I always know how it's going to look. It always looks the same. It's always beautiful, and it goes with so many different looks. This next blush I have is the Leche in Gold Healthy Glow Rose Gold Blush from Surfine Botanicals. This is a really beautiful shimmery pink blush. It is very similar to the last one I showed you, except for more of a pink base than a peachy orange base. I'm going to keep this guy. It is so beautiful. It smells so delicious. Yes. I think this is a highlighter. This is the NARS highlighter in Alcatraz. This is one of the first highlighters that I ever bought. I don't know how there's not a dent in the pan. I swear I use this every single day. This is like a white highlighter that shows up kind of gold. I'm going to get rid of this guy because highlighter formulas have gotten way better. I literally never use this anymore, and that's that. I'm just going to get rid of it. I have the Shayla X ColourPop Under Construction blush in the shade Whistle While You Work. This is a really nice matte pink blush. I'm going to get rid of it though, not for any reason except for the fact that I already have kept like 5 blushes that look just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this guy. I have 2 Burt's Bees blushes, one in the shade Toasted Cinnamon and one in the shade Bare Peach. This is the shade Toasted Cinnamon. It's a really nice, almost yellowy, bronzy, lightly luminous blush. And then we have this one in Bare Peach, just another gorgeous peach blush. I'm going to keep both of these because the formula is just so nice. They look so luminous and they go on so easy on your skin. I have 4 Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes. Remember when the Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes were like the shit? Like they were the best blush you can get at the drugstore. I feel like I haven't reached for these in forever because they're in the way back in my drawer. I have the shade Mellow Wine, which used to be my favorite. I'm going to keep this guy and kind of put it up front and see if I use it a little bit more. I have the shade Rose Champagne. I'm going to get rid of this guy because I just don't see myself grabbing it. I have Apricot in the middle, which is a really nice kind of shimmery, peachy, apricot-y shade. I'm going to keep this guy because I think it'll make a really nice blush topper. And then I have the shade Keep It Peachy, which is just a nice matte peach blush. I do really like this blush, so I'm going to keep it, but I might get rid of it later on. It just depends. I have 2 Flower Beauty blushes. I have one in the shade Warm Hibiscus, which kind of reminds me of NARS Orgasm. It's like a pink blush with a gold sparkle in it. I'm going to get rid of it because I literally never ever reach for this. And then I have the shade Peach Primrose, which it is really nice. It's another matte peach blush. It's beautiful, the embossing in it. And you know what? I think I'm going to get rid of this guy too. Not because I don't like the blush formula. I think it's nice, but I have other drugstore matte peach blushes that blend out better than this one and I feel like last longer than this one, so I'm going to get rid of it. I have this Milani Cosmetics powdered blush in the shade Blossom Time Rose. and it is a very nice kind of peachy rose color, very similar to the Flower Beauty with the embossing in here. I'm going to keep this because I think it's so beautiful and I do really love this color. I have two Melt Cosmetics blushes, one in the shade Cali Dream, which is another matte peach blush, and then one in the shade Honey Thief, which is kind of like a mauve-y pink blush. I think I'm going to keep both of these guys. Melt Cosmetics makes beautiful blushes, and then topped with their blush lights, it's just like out of this world. So I'm going to keep this guy. I have two of the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blushes. I have the shade Feisty. This is a travel size blush. This is a really nice, just a medium toned pinky peachy blush. I'm going to keep this because it is so small and compact. It's really nice to take with me traveling. And then I have the shade Peaceful, but hear me out. From outside, doesn't it look like this is going to be like a really gorgeous peach blush? It's like bubblegum pink. I remember I bought this when I was on vacation because I forgot to bring blush and I just wasn't even paying attention. I was like, oh, grab that one. It looks peachy and cute. And it's like bubblegum pink and I've never used it. It's very cool tone. It does not match the packaging at all, which kind of blows my mind because this one in Feisty, so similar. So I'm going to get rid of this guy for false advertising. Alright, lastly on this blush side over here, I have this Thrive Cosmetics Multi-Dimensional Strobing Blush in the shade Angelina. So I bought this because I thought it was a little bit lighter. It is just a little too dark for my skin tone because it is so heavily pigmented. This is a beautiful blush, but it is just a little bit too dark for me, so I'm going to get rid of it even though I love Thrive and I love the formula. I just literally never reach for it because it's not my color. Okay, so all of the blushes are done. Now I just need to go through this highlight side and then I can do some sort of organization in here. So let's start in the front. So the first thing I have here is this so reflective, the Ciate London Confetti Highlighter in the shade Confetti. I got this recently in a BoxyCharm and it is too dark for me even though it has some of those lighter kind of colored beads in there. When you swirl it all around, it's just way too dark for my skin tone. So I'm going to get rid of this guy. I have three of the Becca Cosmetics Shimmering Skin Perfector highlighters. I have the shade Opal, which is a gorgeous, a little bit more cool toned kind of gold, silvery, champagne-y color. I'm going to keep this guy. I have the shade Moonstone, which is a really light kind of white gold color. I'm actually going to get rid of this guy. I think the Becca formula for their blushes is amazing, but this shade just always is a little too light for me. Every time I try to make it work, I'm not satisfied and I end up layering it. So I'm just going to get rid of it. And then I have the OG in the shade Champagne Pop, which you can tell is very well loved. I'm going to keep this guy until it literally runs dry. We have the Milk Makeup Flex Highlighter in the shade Lit. I'm going to keep this. This is such a beautiful highlighter and it has like a little blue glittery flecks in there that kind of reflect off the light. It's so beautiful. I'm going to keep this. My Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter. So this actually was a limited edition product. It's no longer available, but it is one of the most beautiful gold highlighters I have ever used in my life, and I'm hoping that they one day will re-release it again. I'm praying because when I run out of this, I'm literally going to cry. This is one of my favorite highlighters of all time, even though it's not available anymore. We have the Balm Mary Luminizer highlighter. This was like, I feel like everyone's first highlight, everyone's like first favorite highlight. This one used to be talked about so much. It's just a really nice kind of vanilla-y light white color. I'm going to get rid of this guy for the same reason I got rid of the Becca Moonstone. It's just too light. I always have to mix it with something. I'm never that satisfied with the way it looks, so I'm getting rid of it. Let's see. On the side here, I have a ColourPop loose highlighter in the shade Strobe Globe. I'm going to get rid of this because I honestly never find myself reaching for loose highlighters. This was really pretty all over the body, but it did have a little bit of fallout to it, and I would rather just use like a sparkly lotion or a sparkly spray than something like this. So I'm going to get rid of this guy. I have the Artist Couture Diamond Glow Powder in the shade Purple Dream. This is a crazy gold highlight with like a purple pinky reflect to it. It is so gorgeous in the summer, and if you're doing like a more full coverage look. These powders are so finely milled. I don't even understand how we can do it. I'm going to keep this because it is gorgeous. These are all of my Fenty highlights. So let's just start on the top here. This is in the shade What a Brat. This is a very pretty pink confetti glittery highlight. I'm keeping this guy because it is gorgeous. I have the Fenty Beauty Diamond Balm in How Many Carats. I'm holding on to this guy. And then I have these two Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Foils in Penny for Your Thoughts and Ruby Riches. So these aren't necessarily highlights. I mean, they're advertised as highlights, but I got these mainly to use as like eyeshadows. God, they are so gorgeous. So I'm going to keep these for eyeshadows, but I'm actually going to move them out of my blush drawer into my eyeshadow drawer. This is the e.l.f. Shimmer Highlighting Powder in the shade Starlight Glow. This is a really nice champagne-y highlight. I was pretty impressed with this with e.l.f. This is like one of those products that I think is a definite win from e.l.f. So I'm going to hold on to this guy. This is the Milani Cosmetics Instant Glow Powder in the shade Strobe Light. This is a really beautiful champagne-y highlighter from the drugstore. I'm going to keep this as well. This is the Ofra Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Rodeo Drive. This highlighter is amazing. It's a really booming gold highlighter. I can't wear this every day because it is so reflective and so just like boom in your face of a highlighter. But I'm keeping it because it is amazing to wear when you're going out, on date night, when you're trying to just show off. This guy. I have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Precious Petals. I do like this highlighter. I think it's a really good formula, but I just never reach for it. I have other highlighters in a similar tone that I tend to reach for over this, so I'm going to get rid of this guy. This is the Laura Geller Gelato Swirl Highlighter in the shade, what is the shade? Gilded Honey. This highlighter is gorgeous. This gives me the best inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight I can ask for. On my skin, it's a little bit too dark most of the year unless I have a tan, but I love using this for an inner corner highlight and on my brow bone. So I'm going to keep this guy. This is the Jouer Cosmetics powder highlight in the shade Citrine. This is actually in the original formula too before they changed it. This highlighter is so booming. It's so beautiful. It literally is so reflective. You just need a tiny bit of it. Keeping this guy. This is the Natasha Denona Bloom Blush and Glow Palette. This is a gorgeous blush and highlighting palette. So it has these two cream blushes, and then it has this kind of peachier highlight, and then this darker one. The majority of these are too dark for me, but I love this peachy duo glow kind of blush highlighter as a topper and as a blush on its own. So I'm going to keep this guy. This is the Dose of Colors Desi X Katie Collection highlighter in the shade Fuego. This is a little bit too dark for me for the majority of the year. The packaging is so sparkly and beautiful. I believe they may have a few of them left online, but I think it's probably sold out because it was a limited edition collection. I'm keeping this highlight because it is just gorgeous. All right, now I have a whole nother collection of highlighters that I have been just holding on to because they're all part of a collection. These are from the Disney Villains collection, and this is some of the best packaging I think that ColourPop has ever done. It is so dope with the neon characters' faces, but I can't hold on to all these for nothing, so I need to get rid of some of them. Let's just go through them really quick. Poor Unfortunate Souls. This is the Ursula one. This is another one of those purpley holographic highlighters, but because I kept the one that had Meg on it, I'm going to get rid of this guy. This is called Everybody's Got a Weakness, and it's Hades, and this is a gorgeous kind of duochromy pinky peach highlight. I'm definitely going to keep this one. This is the Cruella one in the shade You Idiots, You Fools, You Imbeciles. This is a super white glittery highlight. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Fenty Beauty Diamond Balm, but I think the Diamond Balm is better, so I'm going to get rid of this guy. We have the Evil Queen here in the shade Fairest of Them All. This is a super yellow gold, almost antique-y gold because it has a little bit of green in there highlight. I'm going to get rid of this because it doesn't go very well with my skin tone. This is Dr. Facilier in the shade Meet Me on the Other Side. This is a gorgeous dark gold highlighter, but it's just way too dark for my skin tone, so I'm going to get rid of it. And this is Maleficent in the shade Mistress of All Evil, and this is such a pretty kind of champagne-y white gold highlight. I'm going to keep this one, and I didn't mention it, but all of these highlighters are actually in the Super Shock formula too, which is the best highlighting formula I think ColourPop has. So I'm going to keep this guy. I have this Jeffree Star Cosmetics Skin Frost in Sarcophagus. This is a white gold champagne highlight. I'm going to keep this guy even though I've literally never used it. This was given to me as a gift, but it is really pretty and it's so huge, the pan size, that I feel like I need to use it. So keeping this guy. OMG, do you guys remember this? This is the Urban Decay Naked Illuminated Luminizer. Look at this. It's like a baked luminizer in the shade Luminous. This is like the biggest packaging ever. There's not even like a mirror in it. It's so random. Oh, I guess there's a mirror up here. I actually bought this for my wedding because I put this all over my chest and my shoulders. I want to keep this for like sentimental value, but I feel like I should just get rid of it. I don't even know if they still make this anymore. I have this Milani Cosmetics Stellar Lights Highlighting Palette. Really pretty, really well loved. I don't use this shade too much, but I do like these two shades. I do like mixing them together. This one's a little bit too dark for me, so I needed to go really gingerly with it. But this gold highlight in the middle here is gorgeous. And lastly, I have this Marc Jacobs Omega Glaze in the shade Guilty. This came out in their summer collection last year, and this is like this reminds me of like a sunburnt gold. This is so beautiful all over. I keep this in here because I don't want it to break. All over your chest and your body, and even on your cheekbones if you're really tan. I'm going to keep this guy. It's so finely milled, and it gives you that like natural, glowy, gorgeous, sun-kissed, sunburnt, luminous, tanning oil skin. You know what I mean? Okay, what do you guys think? It's still pretty messy, but I got rid of way more than I thought that I was going to get rid of, for sure. Probably the biggest declutter so far. I need to still organize this a little bit better, but it looks so much better. I tried to pull everything up higher, so I start using some other things more. I try to organize them in sections more. So let me flip you around and show you guys everything I got rid of. OMG, guys, look, this is literally everything that I'm decluttering from my blush and highlight drawer. My friends are gonna have so much fun going through all of this, but it feels good. It feels good to get rid of all of this stuff. I literally am kind of mind blown. This is so much makeup. Like, I'm not even gonna like try to lie about it. This is so much, and that I'm just getting rid of all of this. This is insane. All right, guys, and that is it for my decluttering my blush and highlighter drawer. I'm trying to decide what category I want to do next. If I want to dive right into eyeshadow palettes, if I want to do my single shadows, if I want to do lips, because that's going to be something on its own. I think for eye products, I'm probably going to have to do, honestly, 3 videos, because I have eyeshadow palettes, single eyeshadows, eyeliners, mascaras, liquid shadows. There's so many. There's no way I can do that all in one video. So I'm going to break that up. Let me know how you guys want to see that broken up. Same with lip products, because I have so many lip products. Do you want me to do just one giant lip decluttering video, or do you want like a 2-parter, you know? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for joining me on my decluttering journey, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.